Hello and welcome to Experience Share. It's a Pokemon podcast starring me, Seismatan.
Oh, Seismatoad.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
caught a glimpse of one of those nasty little creatures this week.
Couple of ugly weeks.
Some little cuties too, though. There were some good guys in there.
Curious to see who that is.
I'm thinking of the kissy little guy who I named you after this week,
Shelmet.
Fjellmet,
See-
aka Joshua Fjellstead.
Well, we'll get to it, but that is the one that I debated.
Whether or not he was a cutie,
Yeah.
he's just like a kissy little slug inside of a helmet.
The lips are a little grotesque, but I think that the design is pretty sweet overall.
Yeah, I like him. Josh. Do we want to address the elephant in the room before we begin?
Yeah, I think that's always best.
You texted me earlier today because you thought that we were kingmakers, tastemakers,
Yeah.
because there's a trend happening on TikTok where
Lighting up the net.
everyone is into the Skittles Berries and Cream
The Gen Z.
commercial,
They
and
love
the guy who did Skittles Berries and Cream came out of the woodwork and joined TikTok and has his little like foppish dandy boy wig on.
Oh my god.
And everyone's having so much fun with Berries and Cream, and you and I had fun with Berries and Cream some weeks back now, right?
Months
Back.
We were way ahead of this trend. We laid the foundation for this. We're the little lads who like berries and cream too. Originally,
Right. Yeah, this is something we were pretty animated about a few months ago, but it turns out that, well, a few months ago, our time.
Oh, I mean,
We're talking years ago by the time that the bug catchers hear this.
Right.
It turns out that we have a little bit of a beef with a fellow podcasting team. Mm-hmm. Who are these guys? The McElroy brothers?
I've never heard of them.
I don't know. I have heard of them.
Some young upstarts. No, I know who they are.
I've driven to West Virginia to watch them perform live. Anyway, we're going to punch up. We're going to take down the McElroys for, I guess, propelling Berries and Cream into the national spotlight in a way that we never could.
Yeah. I guess it's better that he gets his moment again.
My wife told me that the McElroys have been beating this drum pretty hard, the Berries and Cream drum.
Well, and what spurred it for them? And we, Reply All had that episode recently with Alex Goldman talking about Berries and Cream as well.
Jesus. Maybe we are trendsetters.
From like an internet search, he had like Katie Natopoulos on there, Ashley Feinberg.
Wow.
And they were like, what's this Berries and Cream search? So we did it before all these other shows, is all I'm saying. And I don't know who spurred it.
I don't know who did it first, but all I know is that we did it for the love of Berries and Cream guy.
That's
whose
right.
name I've already forgotten. I think it's Jack.
I think it was Jack, yeah.
I followed him on Instagram for a little while, and then I had to stop following him.
Jack
on Instagram.
Fervor.
Yeah. So, we're out here, we're doing Yauman's work. We're out here doing God's work,
That's right.
propelling the Berries and Cream lad into the national spotlight.
Throwing him a lifeline.
Yeah. And here we are now. He's a national celebrity, huge on TikTok. He's like the next Bella Porch.
What?
You don't know who that is? Is that her name?
No.
Bella.
Who?
Yeah, Bella Porch. She's like the biggest TikTok star. Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Josh, how do you not know who Bella Porch is?
I know
she has a
this
huge
girl.
hit song called Build a B Word. Jesus, Josh.
Well, we don't use gendered insults here, so.
Yeah. Hey, Bella, we don't use gendered insults anymore. It's 2021. Buy a book. Read a book.
Yeah. Get a little knowledge.
Get a little knowledge. No, you're doing well.
No, she's
Listen to
fine.
us. Okay, well, that's enough talking about TikTok, and I'm glad we've cleared the air, and we have a nemesis. We have nemesis now.
The McElroy
The McElroy boys.
brothers.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll sort of notice us and, be on our show.
That would be fine.
This is Experience Share. It's a Pokemon podcast starring me, Tanner, and Josh, a.k.a. Seismatan and Fjellmet. We play through each Pokemon game, gym by gym, week by week. We are currently in season... Well, I don't remember what season it is. 5.
5.
And Gen 5, Pokemon Black and White.
That's right.
And we are headed into Gym 7 this week.
We're in the end game.
The end game. One more gym and then the 4. And then it sounds like we have a lot of waterfalls to chase.
Yeah,
That's another thing you texted me earlier today.
we discovered while making the outline for this episode, and they've got an entire section that we didn't do because we did get surf at the beginning of this leg. And that was when Bulbapedia recommends that you go back to some old roots and like go surfing.
I'm just now seeing your levels, man. What happened?
Well, I trained a whole new Pokemon.
So did I.
I also just found that like the grinding was not optimal here. I don't know how you like stuck it out to the
Twisty
level
Mountain
you hit.
wasn't too bad, but
they weren't doing the Mon that I needed to train any favors.
Yeah.
In terms, because it's
well, that's not true. Vanilla hopped up a few levels because of Ice Beam and all the Woobots.
I definitely would have preferred that we battled last week, but we did flip a coin and we are battling this week.
Didn't have time. I introduced a whole new Pokemon to my team with the explicit function of being my surf friend, and it can't even learn the dang move.
Okay, see, that's something that you should look up first.
Well, I like him, and I'm not sure he's going to be long for the team because he's a little finicky to use. You know what? I cannot get a feel from my team, and we'll talk about this when we're battling later.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this because who on here is even supposed to be the one that you thought could learn surf?
The second of the bottom.
Yeah, well, how? I don't think so.
I caught him in a fucking puddle.
It's a puddle. It's not the same as the open seas. A puddle.
I thought he was a water Pokemon, but he's not. He's just pure bug. It's Shelmet.
Yeah, it's Shelmet.
I have a Shelmet.
He lives in a steel helmet, and that's you think he's surfing around.
Hell yeah, man.
He's buoyant.
Hell yeah, man. I just can't get a feel for my team, man. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm constantly swapping people in and out. I'm training up Pokemon I never thought I'd use. I can't get a feel for this thing. I ran into trouble a couple times this week, Josh.
Jesus.
Like, what's his face? Charon. In a couple one battle with Charon in particular, like
he caused you problems.
Almost had my number at one point. I mean, no, it wasn't that hard, but like he peeled a few of my Pokemon off before I managed to take him down.
Wow.
So I gotta figure out what I'm doing with this team.
You gotta get your shit together pretty soon.
I know. Well, I'm pretty hobbled by the fact that it's just stuff.
Inanimate objects. Yeah.
It's just random stuff. But
I'm loving my team.
Yeah, they're pretty ugly, but
they got attitude.
They're good. Yeah. Well, let's talk about our journey this week, Joshua. We started our adventure in Icirrus City.
Yes.
Where we took on some gym leader.
Oh God.
She flew. She was a flying guy.
Man, I can't. Skyla.
Flying. We should have known.
Yes.
Should have known.
A little on the nose.
Where
so
we took
on the nose
Skyla.
that you forget.
Head north, back through Route 7. Any notable, anything new happened to you on Route 7, or is it just plowing through? It's the route with all the like elevated walkways.
Oh, right. We've spent countless hours on Route 7.
Yeah.
Because it is where the Celestial Tower is, but then on the other side of it is Twist Mountain.
Twist Mountain, which is where we found our way. It's Twist Mountain is the main landmark on this leg of the journey this week. As you're approaching Twist Mountain, why is it called Twist Mountain? I guess it did sort of twist.
I mean, I felt like I was in there for days, so it's pretty twisty. I'm
trying to pull up a map of it to see if it's like a tornado shape, but I can't even find a map of it. So.
That's what I was just trying to find too. Twist Mountain is a mine.
Spiral mountain. Yeah, you do kind of like, as you're making your way through it, you do kind of wind down towards the center.
And it's got a bunch of
funnel shaped.
Yeah, you're walking on like raised wooden platforms and you're ducking in and outside of like mine shafts and battling people, and it really feels like a long time.
But before you can even get inside, are we assaulted here? Does Charon kind of come at us here?
Yeah, because it's always right after the last gym. So this was our next thing. Because you couldn't get into Twist Mountain until we had defeated Skyla.
Right, yes. That's something that this game does in a way that former games didn't do quite as transparently. Twist Mountain, you literally cannot get inside. And then at the end of this journey, there's a big tower called like Dragon Boy Tower or something like that.
Dragon Spiral, yeah.
And as you're approaching Dragon Spiral Tower, there's no path. There's no bridge. It's like across a little bit of water, and there's no bridge to get there.
Right.
And it's like they just
and it doesn't even have an entrance or anything.
Yeah, they just remove props to keep you from getting in.
Which is, and we'll get to this, but it's funny that they do that when it's like, as soon as you get to Icirrus City, the Cedric the Entertainer, Cedric Juniper, approaches you, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go check out this Dragon Spiral Tower, the oldest building in Unova." And then you go there and you can't even fucking go in it.
It's like, oh, this is a pretty short leg. I'm gonna need to find something to talk about on my hit Pokemon podcast. I'll join you, Cedric.
Right.
And then you follow him there, and he's like, I don't know. Well, the other thing is, like, I know Surf now, and I know Fly. You think this little bit of water is going to keep me from getting into Dragonspire Tower?
Exactly.
Apparently it did. But yeah, we took on Sharon just outside of Twist Mountain.
Who you had some trouble with.
At this point, yeah, I hadn't done a ton of leveling at this point. I just kind of went up and took him on. He has the same guys he's always had. It's like it's Lipard and Unfazant, and for me, I think it was
and then
Simsear.
Yeah, Simipour for me,
and DeWatt for me. Because DeWatt had fucking leftovers. And it's like, where do I get leftovers? I want leftovers.
They've got good shit. The Unfazant has a scope lens, too. Where did Sharon get all this shit?
Yeah, probably from his... Wait, was Sharon like... No, that was Bianca. Sharon wasn't being a bodyguard for someone. That was Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca's Professor Juniper's bodyguard.
Right.
She's in this at one point as well.
Sharon does have some words with Alder, the Unova champion. Once again, like comes out of nowhere.
Leaps down a cliff and he's just fine. And it's like a screen length cliff.
Yeah, he jumps down from the top of Twist Mountain.
Yeah.
He apparently has been watching us battle and he likes what he sees. Not from Sharon. He doesn't like what he's seeing from Sharon.
No, and then Sharon goes into this rant about how, like, I think Alder asks him, like, why do you want to be a trainer? And then Sharon's like, oh, I just want to be the most powerful trainer because basically it's like power for power's sake, and it's kind of dark. Yeah. He just wants to crush everyone.
Well, that's scary.
Yeah.
Some fascist speak.
Seems like he's a couple of tweaks away from going down the wrong path.
Yeah, exactly. And then Alder gives Sharon a consolation prize for being so bad at Pokemon training. HMO3 Surf.
Right.
And then he comes up to you and says, I'll give it to you too. It's like, okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
I just love that they're not even trying to like figure out a way to get us these HMs anymore. They're just like having characters jump off of mountains to hand us Surf.
You don't have to go find a warden's gold tooth like in the jungle somewhere. I
might be in trouble, Joshua.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to consult the list. Let's go look at the list real quick. Because I think there's a chance that there's not any inanimate object Pokemon that are water-type Pokemon that can learn Surf. We might be in trouble. How am I going to surf? I thought Shelmet was my guy.
I mean, I don't think Shelmet made any sense, but I guess the puddle, you were trying, but just send me that list.
Oh no, I'm in bad shape, Josh. No, there's not a single one.
Well, let me take a look at this Pokedex now.
Here's the list. In fact, I'm almost out of catchable Pokemon.
Jesus.
Here. My options are running pretty short. I have 3 more Pokemon that I'm able to catch.
3?
Yeah, I'm done. I got no water type Pokemon in this list. Oh, unless Escavalier might. I don't think I saw an Escavalier.
I don't think
is that water type
gonna work.
Is that water type? Bug Steel.
It's the other version of. Isn't it related to Shelmet?
Well, Shelmet evolves into Excelgor.
No, it evolves into either one, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, neither is water, so. There's not a single water type.
Could be something weird with like Golett, maybe.
Golett?
Could randomly learn it.
Really? Golette's like a little robot man, right?
Nope, can't do it. It's a ghost.
I'm gonna have to figure something out.
You're gonna have to.
Mr. Keeps is gonna have to adopt a fish or something, just for
a pet,
just for Surf's sake. Dwebble. Could Dwebble or Crustle learn it?
That would make sense. Now that would make sense.
They're like little crabs.
I mean, crabs aren't really swimmers.
Nope. But Krabby can learn Surf. Why can't Dwebble learn Surf?
What about Crustle specifically?
I think I'm in trouble, Josh. I think we're going to have to
also can't
amend some Mr. Keepsies rules here to make sure that I can actually surf around.
You're going to need to be able to do that.
Crustle can't either.
The list is more limited than I recall because so many of them are the evolutions. So it's really only like, a handful of Pokemon lines.
It's probably 15 Pokemon.
Yeah.
Total. So no wonder I'm having such a hard time with this stupid, messed up little team I've got. But I got to update this list too.
Did it to yourself.
I did do it to myself.
Yeah, maybe give it another pass at that Pokedex.
My dude, Alder, gave me Surf, but I can't do anything with it at this point. So it's just sitting in a box somewhere. But then you head into Twist Mountain, and what a journey Twist Mountain is, hey Joshua?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to remember. There was a couple of times where I had to use elixirs. There's a doctor at one point, but it's pretty late.
He's so far in though. He's on the bottom level.
Yeah, that was the problem too.
It's once again, I just ran out of PP.
That's
it's too late in the game to be introducing these super long grindy parts, because it's I'm at the point now where my Pokemon have Hoss moves, and those Hoss moves only have 5 or 10 PP.
Yeah, exactly.
And then once you burn through them, it's well, now what do I do? I'm not going to go all the way back to the last town. So that doctor, there is a family who lives on Route 7, not too far outside of the entrance of Twist Mountain, who will heal your Pokemon.
That's right.
So I ended up using them quite a bit at the beginning, and then the doctor at the end. But they did not make it easy. And it's, once again, God, I feel like it's the 5th cave that we've had to grind through in this game. Because once again, it's a big, long, grindy cave full of wild Pokemon. So you're constantly getting attacked by Boldors and Woobots and Girders and Cubchews.
I mean, it felt endless. Cubchews. It felt endless, and we didn't even get to see the whole thing, because I also read when I was setting up the outline here, parts of it will open up depending on the season.
Yeah, I read that too. I didn't really understand what that meant, though. It's just winter. In winter, everything changes.
Yeah. But we're far away from winter at this point. We'll be done with this game before we get to winter again.
That mechanic, the seasons mechanic is so weird, because you have to play this game for at least 4 months straight.
Yeah.
And they don't even introduce the seasons until halfway through the game, more than halfway through the game, right? Wasn't that just last episode?
Well, I think we only just noticed that because now we've been playing long enough that it flipped. But it never acknowledges them. It's just the game opens and it's winter or whatever.
Right.
But it never says parts of maps will be changed, and you can only access these. Right.
Here, but do you think so we both flipped to spring at the same time. Do you think everyone starts in winter and flips to spring?
Yeah, I think you looked it up, and it's specific months.
Oh, right. Yeah, September. When we came into September, it changed us to spring.
Yeah.
Right.
Confusingly.
So yeah, we tackled Twist Mountain. It's the kind of setup where you go in, you go through a little cave section, you fight some trainers, you fight some Woobats, you fight some Boldors,
right? And
then you pop out a door and you walk through walk along this wooden walkway along the side of the interior of the mountain. It's like a crater, and then you go into another. Yeah. It's maze.
A mining operation.
You have to find your way through the maze of tunnels and mining shafts to get down to the bottom, where there's a bunch of work equipment that doesn't do anything. And there's all sorts of
workers.
There's false trails too. You can make your way down one, and then there's nothing down there except some boring item that no one gives a shit about, or just one random trainer. So you have to make your way all the way back. And
the tile set is just a dirt floor cave, so it's hard to keep track of where you were.
And then before we even get inside, though, we run into Charon again, and he is hanging out with Clay. I don't know why Clay has become such a presence in these games.
Yeah, I guess with this specifically, it's that, he's this like miner. Yeah, it's his mining operation. But it is weird that it's like Clay. This is
like the third or fourth time that Clay has like been like a NPC and not just a gym leader.
Yeah.
But yeah, Clay is there. He's looking into his mines, checking in on his workers. Team Plasma nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, was this our first leg with no Team Plasma?
Well, they were there, but we didn't fight them. As we're kind of approaching the end of the mountain, Charon is there, like chatting with them or like confronting them. And when you walk up to them, they like say some nonsense, some Team Plasma nonsense.
Okay, that's right.
And then they say something about an item being found, and that they need to go to the tower, and then they leave.
Okay, so we're gonna have another Team Plasma set piece next week.
I assume it's Dragonspire Tower, but
it must be.
Who knows? Yeah, and then that's the cave.
Yeah,
that's Twist Mountain.
It was just a long, twisty mountain, to be honest.
Nothing really happens. There's no big story movement. It's just grinding through this mountain.
Yeah,
and now we're through it, and now we're already at Icirrus City.
Here we are.
Icirrus?
Yeah, it's a good question.
So every city is named after clouds.
It could be Icirrus.
And there is a kind of cloud called Cirrus, I think. So maybe it's Icirrus?
Oh, you're right. There is a Cirrus cloud. Wow, look at you, Mr. Meteorologist here.
I'm
runs in the family.
Yeah.
Cirrus. Okay, so Icirrus.
But it also just looks like it says Icarus, which is also
probably
what
Icirrus.
I think people know.
I like either one.
And as we said, the second you step out of the mountain, Cedric Juniper. I'm getting so sick of this guy. He doesn't do anything.
He doesn't offer us anything. He
doesn't
other
battle
than
me.
Words.
Yeah, he just like talks nonstop, and he does talk nonstop here. He tells you all about Dragon Spiral Tower and how it's the oldest building in Unova. Who cares? There's a legendary Pokemon there. You use the like gems, the black and white gems, to awaken the legendary Pokemon. It's typical Pokemon shit.
Oh, the Dark Stone and the Light Stone.
The Dark Stone and the Light Stone, yeah.
And everyone in this town is like brainwashed about this shit. Like everyone you talk to gives you random like this is what I was told when I was a kid, and that it's the legendary Pokemon gave help to the hero because he or she sought truth. Then he goes, and eventually it lost its physical form and it became the Light Stone and it's waiting for another hero. I'm like, I'm sorry. What yada yada yada? Do you yada 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 over the best part? What, it just suddenly loses its physical form? What do you mean?
That can happen. That happens to me all the time.
And it goes into a stone?
And I turn into a stone, yeah. And I just need... Jamie usually just has to nudge me, and I'll wake up.
He'll pop back out.
Yeah. After Cedric fucks off, you are here in Icirrus City, and the first thing that you encounter is a big puddle.
Yeah.
There's
a bunch of like windmills and like it's lowlands.
That's what they have to greet you when you walk out of the cave. It's just a big puddle, and you can wade through it, and you're attacked by a lot of different Pokemon, including Shelmet, which I caught, and my You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week.
I figured.
Stunkfish. Wait, what was it called?
Stunfisk.
Stinkfish.
It does stink.
Yucky.
Nothing to like about it, to be honest.
It's so gross. Does it evolve in anything?
No.
What?
Yeah.
They set out to make
cool,
an ugly
ground
Pokemon.
Electric, but like this thing sucks. It's like a
flat
even uglier
little,
flounder.
They just put zero effort into the design.
Like obviously not enough fish in this game. Yeah. And they spent one of their fish with Stunfisk.
Is there any case to be made that this thing isn't an No, it's just an ugly fish. Maybe I'll have to catch one though, just to be my surf bro. He's shaped a little like a surfboard. I can ride this thing around.
Like a bodyboard.
Let me see if it learns. Fuck me. How could it not?
It's because it's like a bottom dwelling fish. I mean, it still has to swim.
It can learn to surf. Okay. Yeah, it is kind of a cool combo, though. It's a fish that's not water type, but is ground and electric. That's pretty cool.
Its sprite implies that it is floating around, which doesn't really make any sense.
Too bad it's so ugly.
I really don't like it.
Joshua, I can't think of a clever way to do it, so I'm just going to say let's go to break.
Okay.
All right. See you in a second.
All right.
Welcome back, Joshua, and welcome back, bug catchers.
Welcome back.
We are in Icirrus City.
Icirrus?
It's a happening town with a vibrant community and an active social scene.
Yeah.
First stop on our journey, well, for me, was the Pokemon Center to heal up and get my sweet little Shelmet out of the box.
Yeah, who I will say, I didn't officially have a sweetie going into this episode. Like, that's how much of a dearth there was.
Yeah.
But the only one that I crossed my mind was Shelmet, and I think...
Because it was kissing little lips,
I think
right?
we could
You
just
like
say Shelmet is Joshy's sweetie.
Is it the kissing little lips that you like?
That was what was holding me back. I think the design is... I like the design.
Yeah, he looks like a little medieval knight in a, like, full plate helmet.
Right, exactly.
And he's a little kissy fish inside of there.
Which is... It's kind of sweet.
I can't believe it's just bug. How is it not bug water?
Well, it gets steel when... Or no, this is the one that turns into... Oh my god, no, a Selgor is just bug. I mean, I like Carablast and Escavalier.
So Carablast... Wait, this evolution is so confusing. Shelmet evolves in
it's like a
Selgor when traded for a Carablast.
Right.
And the Carablast evolves into Escavalier. Is that right? Yes,
yeah,
that's right. What a confusion. But the weird part is Escavalier definitely looks way more like Shelmet than a Selgor.
Well, I think that the lore of how it works is that, like, the Carablast... Because if you look at the design for Escavalier... It looks like it has a Carablast under the armor. So it's like the Carablast finds a discarded Shelmet helmet after it evolves into Selgor, and then it takes it and it evolves. I think is how the relationship works.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because maybe I should go back and catch a Carablast because Escavalier is on my list because he lances.
He's good.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's got a cool combo.
But
how will you do that trade with yourself?
Trade setup.
Yeah.
I would have to use my second Game Boy. I would have to use... No, I don't think I could.
Because Gen 4 won't recognize Shelmet.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know.
That's tricky. That's tricky.
You can figure something out.
To figure that out.
Because I can definitely trade... I don't know. I'll figure it out. I don't know. Maybe it's not even worth it. Bug Steel? I already have a Steel type and a Bug type.
That's true. Yeah.
Now that I know I can't easily evolve my Shelmet into a Selgor either, though, do I want to keep using it? Is the question.
Probably not.
Also, a Selgor is ugly.
I do not like a Selgor. No.
It is ugly.
It's like a mummified bug.
Yeah, and he's got his little pouty face and his little crossed arms, like a little brat. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm intrigued by Shelmet, and I'm having fun with him at this moment, but I really only leveled him up because I thought he would learn Surf. So if he's not even going to do that, then what are we even doing here, people?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think what I'm going to have to do is battle you this week and figure out what my team is lacking, and then
that's not a bad idea.
Try to fill in the gaps because that's the real mission here, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, we're in Icirrus City. There's an ore collector here who you can sell rocks to. I don't have any rocks, or I didn't have any notable rocks, but he'll buy them for double the price.
Yeah.
So like, if
I didn't
you have
give a lot of them up yet, though.
If you have a nugget, he'll buy it for 10,000 rather than 5,000.
Yeah.
And then he buys like star pieces and like stones, like dusk stones and dark stones,
stardust,
and all that kind of stuff. Or thunderstones. Yeah, stardust. He'll buy it all.
Get my paws on that comet shard for $60,000.
This is another game where I feel like I'm not hurting for money. I'm doing well with money.
Yeah, I basically never had any issues with money here.
As soon as we get the option to buy vitamins, like carbos and whatnot, I'm going to buy a lot of those. Wild. Yeah. So maybe I'll need a little money then, but I just don't need an ore collector to give me double prices for rocks. First of all, I don't even have that many rocks, but I'm doing okay. Thank you, though. Ore collector.
We admire your wares, your services.
I'll go ahead.
Other thing I wanted to talk about are these 4. Do you remember these twisting, turning, like, children who are just on the path when you head into the north part of town?
Yeah, they're doing like a little ring around the rosy.
What is that about?
And if you try to interrupt them, if you try to talk to them, they don't give you anything. They just tell you that they're playing a game.
They're like, one of them says, mix it up day and night, 'cause today everything's all right. And then they keep going. Spin apart, mix and twirl. Okay. This one says,
what do you think that's,
spin, turn and spin. Hey, maybe you should be singing the Berries and Cream song. That would be...
There we go.
A little bit more entertaining than this gibberish I'm seeing.
That's called synergy. That's called brand synergy. Just do it.
Exactly.
And that's also brand synergy because that's the Nike slogan. I get coloring this world and making it feel like a full lived-in world, but at least do it in a way that makes sense. You know, like you can't have 7 cities in a row where no one is around, and then finally in the 7th city, you're like, just remember, there's kids playing everywhere, and they're just saying nonsense.
Yeah,
lawless like, make it feel children. Real. And why aren't they out there training Pokemon like the rest of us, you know? Time is money, kids. Get a starter Pokemon and go start training. There's no time to be ringing around the rosy.
We're not interested in dancers. We're interested in trainers of Pokemon. Yes.
There's a couple other notable landmarks in Icirrus. Pokemon Fan Club is here.
Yeah.
Probably
the best one yet.
The least interesting Pokemon fan club yet. Is where
no chairman...
there's no chairman. There's no mission
poetic about his Rapidash fetish.
Right, and there's no. You're not getting you're not rescuing a Pokédoll to give to Copycat Girl so that she'll teach you Psychic or whatever, you know, or give you a SSN
or
ticket.
You get a rare candy for just listening to a story. Maybe you're right, and I overreacted.
Because what you can do though is go talk to the guy who's running the place. There is still a chairman.
Yeah,
despite what Josh just said.
Not really a gregarious one.
Yeah. He'll ask you to present a Pokemon to him, and then he'll award you if your Pokemon has gained a certain amount of levels. I showed him, I think at that time, Muscarna, and he gave me a experience share, which I already had.
Yeah, I think I showed him Samurott, and I also got an experience share because it's apparently that's what you get.
I'm looking at the Bulbapedia now, and the level designations for these prizes are bananas.
Nuts. Yeah, cuckoo bananas.
If you show them a Pokemon that's grown 25 to 49 levels, you get experience share. 49 levels.
Yeah,
it would have to be your starter, and we're still not there. You know, we're not at level 49
Pokemon.
Yet.
Yeah.
Right. And then if you show him a Pokemon that has leveled 50 to 98 levels since you initially caught it, you'll get a cleanse tag. That's a shitty prize.
Yeah, that sucks.
And then if you show him a Pokemon that's grown over 99 levels since you acquired it, he'll give you a King's Rock, which is also just what the fuck am I supposed to do with that, you know?
I mean, it's an evolutionary item for Politoed and
for Politoed,
but
okay, they're not in this game.
You're right. If I'm doing that, I'm just going to import the King's Rock from one of the other versions.
Right.
This system doesn't make any sense, and that the baseline is an experience share, which we already have. And what do you need 2 for? Because
it's like they didn't. It's like they didn't even. I guess it if a Pokemon is holding King's Rock, their moves are more likely to cause flinch.
Yeah, it does that as well.
So that's not terrible, but it's I'm not
waiting
a Pokemon
99
levels.
Yeah.
For that, I have never raised a Pokemon 100 levels, and I am what could be considered a professional Pokemon player.
That's true,
because we get paid for those anchor ads.
Yeah,
yeah. These prizes are terrible, and the thresholds for earning them are beyond.
Yeah, it's unacceptable.
Achievable.
It's just unacceptable for
they
what
should
you
have just
get.
made it a lot better.
Yeah,
you know, even just a rare I would have taken a rare candy over experience share. You know?
Right, and like none of them are things that you need multiple of,
share.
You know?
Yeah.
So it should be like a rare candy that can be repeated. Like I'll take any of them.
Oh yeah, show me multiple Pokemon that have even 25 levels is even a little tough. Like show me a Pokemon that's gained 15 levels and I'll give you a rare candy. And if you have multiple Pokemons in your party that have 15 or more levels on them, multiple rare candies.
Yeah, that's only fair.
That's a good deal.
The chairman is supposed to be rich. Generous.
The other person in here is a little girl who will tell you whether or not your Pokemon like you.
Right.
She checks their friendliness level, their happiness level.
But I don't have any Mon that need that, so.
Me neither. I mean, I did still check all my Pokemon. They all love me.
That's good.
So.
Well, you did rescue all of them from the trash or the landfill, so.
Yeah. Some little kid was eating Vanillite, and I snatched it out of his hands. And now he's my most beloved Pokemon. The other notable landmark in Icirrus is Aha's house.
Yeah.
Aha, Y, and Ditto.
They're all like... I only put that together now also. That they're all like reactions to like...
Yeah, the reactions
questions
to questions.
Or answers. Yeah.
It's a family of freaks who want you to answer their riddles in order to gain fabulous prizes. And by fabulous prizes, I mean shitty prizes.
Yeah, a correct answer gets you an antidote, and an incorrect one gets you a paralyze heal.
Every time. So they have a new quiz question every day. So I went several days in a row expecting some fun new little prize to be given to me, but it was antidotes every single day.
Right.
And also the questions suck. Do you want me to ask some of these questions to you?
Go for it. Quizmaster Tanner.
What is the unevolved Pokemon that changes its form seasonally?
Deerling.
That's correct.
Hell yeah.
What is the Pokemon that has 2 gears?
Clink?
Slightly tricky.
Or wait, Clang?
Clang.
Yeah. Okay.
What is the attaching Pokemon?
Attaching Pokemon?
Yeah. I actually don't know the answer to this one.
That is kind of strange phrasing. I don't think I'm going to get that.
Attaching Pokemon. Let's look it up.
Joltik?
Oh, it's Joltik.
Joltik cling to larger Pokemon and absorb static electricity.
Weird. I guess you'd have to be reading these Pokedex entries to get some of these.
That's insidery. I guess I would have gotten a paralyzed heal for that one.
That one would have gotten you a paralyzed here, yeah. What is the hearing Pokemon that can hear very well? I'm going to guess.
I think it's Dino.
Oh, yeah. Dino. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they're all questions like this. What is the trap Pokemon that hides in the mud? Stinkfish, right?
Stinkfish, yeah.
So yeah,
Dino.
they're all super easy, but all you earn is antidotes. So who gives a shit? I can go buy 1,000,000 antidotes.
I'm already at the phase I just buy full
adult.
heals. I don't need this shit.
I'm an adult. I can buy whatever I want.
Yeah.
You know? That means that the last thing to do, Joshua, is Icirrus Gym.
Right.
But before we get to that, you should tell me a little bit about your team, and I should tell you a little bit about my team in a hit segment we call Level Check.
Level Check.
And these Pokemon teams that you're about to hear about are going to go head-to-head at the end of this episode after we're done talking about Icirrus Gym.
We will be battling.
We'll be smashing them together to see who comes out on top. I have Josh on the levels this week, but I just can't get a handle on this team, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And it's not super significant.
What is it?
The level gap.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but it's not
too bad. Yeah.
Crushing.
Well, let's hear about your team.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Seinfeld Murat. No.
Bad.
No. Samurott, level 42. Not a lot of action for that one here.
No.
Elaine, Lilligant, level 41.
Cutie.
Still loving it.
I miss my Cottony so much. I just don't think I can justify having Cottony on the team. It's just not a...
You would get, I guess not a ton of use out of that.
It's
Some.
also not an inanimate
2
object.
Pokemon for me. Oh, Whimsicott. Right.
Whimsicott.
Whimsicott is, yeah. I mean, but
It's
maybe if
really
you need
hard to
if
justify
you need to
that thing being
diversify your team, I feel like maybe we can make an exception there.
I don't know. I jettisoned another Pokemon this week that I'll talk about when we get to mine.
Oh, so you raised some other one that you then jettisoned?
No. I jettisoned an old stalwart Pokemon who's been on the team since the very beginning. We'll talk about it when we get to mine.
Okay.
Josh, adding his sweetie in real time.
Just so that we have
He's
it.
made it official.
Historical record. Have to get it right.
Yep.
Then we have Uncle Leo.
Why don't you add Cubchoo? You love Cubchoo so much. You were like defending Cubchoo so much last week. You love Cubchoo.
I'm predicting
boogie, snotty little nose.
you're going to get torn apart by people who like
Bring it on.
Cubchoo.
Cubchoo sucks. He's ugly and he's got boogers in his nose.
I thought Beartick is kind of cool.
Okay, those are boogers in his...
Icy...
That's his beard. The boogers beard. Yeah.
I guess if it is boogers, then it's no good. Mm-hmm. But who is good is Uncle Leo. He's Crocodile.
Wait, what level was Lilligant, did you say?
41.
41.
And then Crocodile, Uncle Leo, level 42.
Crocodile. I can't believe you still have a Crocodile on your team.
Might keep it. It might be...
You having fun with it?
Yeah, I mean, it's taken... Ground and Dark are both useful in this... in Unova.
Yeah.
And it's 2 for 1.
Hello.
Hello. And then we have Kramer, the electric still.
Yeah.
Level 41.
Yeah.
Because really couldn't get much use out of that one this week.
Yeah.
George, Archeops, level
Kitty.
41. Also
Sweet, tender little kitty.
no good against ice Pokemon.
Flying rock?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, but it's been useful. That's a good
Yeah.
combo.
Yeah. Usually.
Not on this leg. I did just say that, but whatever. And then we have what you suspected might happen. And it's LGM.
Ugh.
LGM,
The little weird
aka
alien.
J. Peterman, because the evolved form Behem has like a good fashion sense, and it's the cerebral Pokemon, and he thinks he's a world traveler.
What do you mean he has good fat? Because he's wearing that little trench coat?
Yeah, I needed
his big
someone
top
who's
hat.
kind of dapper.
Yeah. Behem.
Behem is going to be coming out, but I couldn't pull it off because I had to train this thing, and it evolves at level 42, so I'm 2 levels off.
I was waiting for a psychic to finally make it to your team, but
I gotta have a psychic, and you took the one that I would have normally taken.
yeah, and I've abandoned it.
Oh shit!
But I have a bug type on my team now. So what are you gonna do about that?
Probably acrobatics all over
Probably
it.
Smush it. Yeah. Probably smush it with your foot.
Yeah.
Great. Well,
but yeah.
what a lineup.
It's feeling pretty good. It's feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
You've had some of those guys since the battle days. Lilligant, Samurott, Crocodile. They've been on there since.
They've been on there for a
beginning.
while.
Yeah.
But
All right.
there's still time for changes. We'll see. Maybe depending on how this battle goes. Although it's not totally even, which we will find out when you tell us your levels.
My guy's called Mr. Keepsies. He's a hoarder, and he likes to collect found objects and keep them. Right. Some of those found objects happen to be Pokemon. Here they are. Candle.
Straightforward.
Lampert. Or Lampent.
Yeah.
Lampent. Level 45. Have fun with this guy. Ghost, Fire. Super useful this week, obviously. Going into
great combo for this.
The Ice Gym. Gears. Clang. Level 44. I don't know when these guys all evolve. I think Lampent is a Duskstone evolution. I don't have a Duskstone.
A lot of late game evolvers in this gen.
Yeah. Clang, it's probably like level 80
Clang
or something.
isn't until level 49.
Oh, I'll get there next week. Level 44, Clang is at now. All
right.
Ice Cream, Vanillish, level 45. Again, absolutely no idea when it evolves. Totally expected it to by now.
Yeah, Jesus.
I think it's like 49 or 50.
47. Not that bad.
Few more levels.
At this point, yeah.
Garbage, Garbodor, level 42. That's the final evolution for that guy, right?
Yes.
Helmet, Shelmet, level 40. Managed to get him up to level 40 this week. And then
pretty impressive.
I had to say goodbye to a Pokemon this week, Joshua, that I took on in battle a couple of times, and in seeing it being played by another trainer, really had trouble figuring out how it was an inanimate object and not just a sleeping man.
You're like cannibalizing yourself, your own picks. You're making it even harder.
Rest in peace. Rest in petals.
Rest in petals.
Musharma. Incense.
Musharna.
And welcome to the team. Nazcalines. Sigalith. Level 45.
Jesus.
I've been leveling Sigalith every now and then because I also like Musharna felt like it sort of ran out of usefulness too, you know? Like
Sure.
I had a moveset on it to take you on that was mostly sleep based, but that wasn't all that useful. It was just too slow.
Right. Not as useful in game.
For the game.
Yeah.
And also Nightmare kind of sucks.
Yeah, I'm more of a Dream Eater guy.
I need to find like a better sleep move for that thing because Nightmare's even slower. Like you give it Nightmare, once a Pokemon's asleep, then you spend a turn giving it Nightmare, and then it needs to like have Nightmare for several turns, but it always just wakes up.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably best to just be dropping psychics. Just put him to sleep and then just drop psychics.
Well, Sigalith has psychic, so why not just bring
but no
in
Mayor Sleep?
Oh, it's got hypnosis.
Oh, well,
Not
hypnosis.
as reliable as
It's rough.
Not as reliable as Yawn, but I actually have another Pokemon on my team that has Yawn too. So we're still covered on the Mayor Sleep moves.
Okay.
Those are our teams. Joshua, I insist we meet on the battleground and mash these sweet boys together to see who comes out on top. What do you think?
Well, after we talk about the gym.
Oh, right. We haven't even talked about the gym yet.
No.
Icirrus Gym. Icirrus. Someone's going to have to tell us how to pronounce it.
Somebody will.
Ice
Without
puzzle.
being prompted.
Slippy ice puzzle, Jim. You
Yeah.
slip around on the ice. You can change these little, like, I don't even know what you call them, like ramps, so that you slide in different directions.
Yeah, they're like spinners.
Yeah, little spinners.
And then you'll like ricochet off them and then curve in different directions to get through the gym.
You get a little English on yourself. You get a little English on the ball.
What is that?
That's a billiards
soccer?
term.
Okay.
Billiards. It's when you put spin on the ball.
That's a little English?
I think so. I'm not really a billiards
I don't really understand
player or
the
watcher.
origin of that. Okay.
All I know is that when I was growing up in Minnesota, there was a very famous billiards player called Minnesota Fats. That was his name.
That's a cool name.
Yeah. And I think my grandparents really liked him, so I haven't checked in on billiards in about 30 years.
It's you. Didn't really keep up with the latest on the game.
But I hope Minnesota
Champions.
Fats is still out there kicking it.
Let's
I
hope
remember
so.
him being pretty old when I was 7, and also
Does kind of sound like an old-timey name.
pretty heavy.
Yeah.
He died in 1996.
His last name was Fats, so
Yeah. Known as Minnesota Fats or New York Fats. What the fuck?
that's confusing.
A professional billiards player. Randolph
R.I.P.
Wanderone.
Minnesota Fats.
Or Rudolph Wanderone.
Rest in petals.
Rest in petals. Minnesota Fats.
The other thing I'll say about this gym is, why are there a bunch of black belts and battle girls in an ice gym?
I don't know, and they all have the same
What happened
shitty
to the
Pokemon. They
skiers
all
and the
have Cub
snowboarders?
shoes. They all have this new Pokemon that was all over the place this week.
God, Cragonal.
Cryagonal. Who's like,
They're really shoving that thing down our throats.
it's so ugly. It's just a big icicle, but it's
a
got like a,
snowflake.
it's a snowflake. It's got like a mustache,
Yeah, and like Tron eyes.
like mean Tron eyes. Yeah, I don't know. It's pure ice. It was nothing. I just like melted every single one of them.
Yeah, I was.
Ghost fire.
I didn't have any fire moves anymore because Zebstrika's the one that had flame charge. But
Oh yeah.
I did have Crocodile, who was bulldozing him. And then I just did a fair amount of Samurott with Surf. Was just like effective enough that it was like mostly a lot of one-hit KOs, surprisingly.
Yeah, I one-hit KO every single Pokemon in this gym, including the gym leader.
I noticed one of the black belts, I think, was implying that he's the Karate King from Johto. Did you notice that?
He wishes.
Like I'm back from training up in the mountains. I think he says something like that. I meant to get a picture of it, but I think that he lives. He's finally emerged from his training. He's in this gym now. It's kind of a downgrade. Yeah.
He's finished and he's come back down off of the hill. I had Lampent had some good moves, obviously, being half fire. Clang being steel had some good stuff too.
Yeah, and Bryson,
that's all I really needed.
The gym leader, has a Vanillish, level 37, Beartic, level 39, and Cragnole, level 37. So we were all out-leveled. That's the other thing. I mean, we out-leveled them.
Oh, significantly.
On top of it.
Yeah.
So it was pretty easy.
I don't think any one of... I'm looking at all their moves now. I don't think any of his Pokemon even got a single move off. I think I one-hitted his entire team.
I think one of them... I think he killed Crocodile at one point, but I just
pathetic
used Samurott at that point.
So that's our journey this week, Joshua.
You get
all
the freeze
that's left for us to do.
Breath.
Oh yeah, which seemed like a really shitty TM
for this stage in the game.
It's way too like I already my ice Pokemon already has way better frost moves. Than
it only does
ice
40 in this gen. I guess they buffed it to 60.
That's terrible
in Gen 6, but. Yeah, I'm not using that.
Terrible.
Even if it always gets a crit, like no way.
So that's the journey this week, Joshua. All that's left is for us to battle, to meet one another on the battleground, and see who can come out as the victor.
Okay.
Bug catchers, we will check in after our first battle to let you know who the victor is and debrief a little bit with you. See you in a moment.
Round 1, fight.
Ouchie, Joshua.
Youch.
That one hurt. I didn't do well. You almost swept me. I managed to take out your Oshawott, Samurott.
Yeah.
But otherwise, your team's completely intact and in full health.
14 turns for that whole battle.
14 turns. I made some missteps, but also this team I've got. What a team, and not in a good way.
Now I feel guilty that I don't have some crazy restriction, but
you
did this to yourself.
Beat me. Yep. I know what I did. You came in. You've got a counter for almost everyone on my team.
Yeah.
Your Oshawott took out a couple of guys. Took out Garbodor pretty quickly.
Yeah, and you got your toxic spikes out, but then toxic missed, so Samurott got a lifeline.
Yep.
And just was letting loose a pretty devastating surf on everybody.
Yep.
Until Helmet put it to sleep. Shelmet.
Yeah, and I had Sigilyph out, and you brought in Electric, and I just couldn't figure out what to do with the Electric. And then eventually you Volt switched him out for Crocodile,
who just crunched him.
Who crunched my Sigilyph and my...
Oh, and you didn't know that my Electric had Flash Cannon, so you brought in Vanillish, and then I just dropped that Steel move for super effective as well.
Yep. So you've got some good move coverage in your little team here. Let's go into the second battle here and see if I can do anything to stop you.
You call them ugly, but they know what they're doing.
We'll see.
Round 2, fight.
Be back in a second, bug catchers. Little better that time, Josh.
Little better. Got me down.
I got you down to
Lilligant
one solid LGM. Pokemon and a sliver of health on LGM. Wait, what's it called?
LGM. Yeah.
LGM.
I think so.
Yeah, that was
24 turns.
I managed to eke that one out a little bit. Although at the end I did have a couple of just like brutal missed moves.
Yeah,
moves that are like 85% and just missed.
Yeah, what is it? Clang?
Clang has Gear Grind.
And that missed like twice. You had a Mirror Shot from the Vanillish that missed.
Yeah. That's the way it goes. You still beat me. I did shave you down pretty well that time.
I opened with Crocodile this time.
And it took me a while to remove Crocodile from the equation. Shelmet has a lovely little move combo, which is Yawn.
I hate it.
And then Protect. So I get you with the Yawn, and then I Protect the next move, so you just can't hit me with anything.
Yeah, Shelmet did quite well on that one.
And I actually managed to do that little combo twice on Crocodile. Because Crocodile, Shelmet also has Giga Drain. So I was taking little chunks of health off Crocodile while it was sleeping.
And I had no effective move even.
Yeah. When it woke up, I just yawned it again and then protected again. and put it back to sleep.
Yeah, that sucked.
Kept kicker draining it. So,
and I was very dignified that I didn't even bring Lilligan out, and I didn't do any mayor sleeping, as opposed to your strategy.
Well, so I'm gonna have to figure out a way to evolve this
Shelmet,
aren't I?
Yeah, or get the Carablast is what you need.
I can go back and get a Carablast too.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what we end up doing. I would like to figure that out before
There's
next week.
got to be a solve.
I'll do a little math, see if I can make that work. But
yeah.
Well fought, Joshua. You were the battle. You were the champion of experience share.
The underdog.
This week.
Pulled it off.
This has been Experience Share. It's a Pokemon podcast starring me, Seismatan, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Fjellmit.
That's me.
Please do rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, and do follow the show everywhere that you follow Pokemon podcasts or any podcasts. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at EXPSharePod. We put up our fun little audiograms and
level check
graphics each week and other kind of goofy fun stuff that we love.
Banter. Check out our
banter.
Subreddit.
Josh put up, well, now it's months old, but Josh put up the wackest
come on.
graphic of like his favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, there was a graphic going
He forgot
around.
his literal favorite Pokemon.
Well, Mewtwo was there. But it's
his
Mewtwo
second
and
favorite
Octillery.
Pokemon.
And I just I did it really early in the morning, and then I was like, wait a second. I do like Lantern, but that's wrong. It's Octillery, and then I had to issue a correction.
Yeah.
But I stand by the choices on the corrected version. Favorite Pokemon of each type.
Crocodile is now your new favorite ground type Pokemon.
Yeah,
is
I put
right?
it in there. Yeah.
Or maybe it was it Dark? Because your favorite ground type was the Doug Trio with beautiful blonde hair. Or was that Tony's?
That was Tony's.
Oh.
mine was
Josh
Crocodile.
had retweeted friend of the show, Anthony
Tony Smith.
Yeah.
My ground type was Crocodile because I'm not a huge fan of that type generally.
Yeah.
And I'm liking this thing. I had Archeops for rock too.
Yeah, Archeops I appreciate.
I really like this play style.
Yeah. So yeah, do follow us on Twitter. What else?
Share pod and the subreddit reddit.com/r/bugcatchers. Bugcatchers. Yeah. Plural. Yeah. We do Trainers of the Week by our other friend of the pod, Mike Levine, who will award people based on their participation and their teams. People were playing along, and I believe there's a tournament for this season as well, where you might get to face off against us at the end.
That'll be fun.
And check out our merch store, expsharemerch.com.
Buy some stuff.
Yeah.
Wear it around. When people ask you about it, do not explain.
No.
Tell them to figure it out.
And the other thing we were doing is we're sending out stickers again if you prove that you've given us a rating or review, or you just give us some love on social media.
Yeah. Show us that you've helped
get the show back on the map
into a phenomenon.
Yeah.
We'll send
the town map
sticker. I don't care. All right, Joshua, thank you for joining me this week. Bugcatchers, thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
Smell ya.